Imagine being one of the most trusted law enforcement officers in the country, with access to the darkest secrets and most classified information. But what if that person, sworn to uphold the law, was secretly a mastermind of crime? Meet FBI agent Robert Hanssen, the man who would shake the very foundations of the Bureau. Hanssen, a 25-year veteran of the FBI, was known for his exceptional skills in counterintelligence. He was the go-to guy for some of the most sensitive cases, and his colleagues respected him for his dedication and expertise. But beneath the surface of this decorated agent, a sinister plot was unfolding. Hanssen had been selling classified information to the Soviet Union, and later Russia, for over 15 years. The extent of the damage he caused is still unknown, but one thing is certain: he compromised some of the most critical operations in the FBI's history. But here's where it gets dark. Hanssen's betrayal wasn't just about the money, it was about the thrill of the game. He was a chameleon, blending in seamlessly with his surroundings, and his colleagues never suspected a thing. He was a family man, with a wife and 6 children, and he attended church regularly. But behind closed doors, he was living a double life, feeding the Russians sensitive information that would put countless lives at risk. Nobody expected this. From a man who had risen through the ranks of the FBI with such ease. Hanssen's career was marked by notable achievements, including his work on the infamous Aldrich Ames case, where he helped identify the mole within the CIA. But what his colleagues didn't know was that Hanssen was using his knowledge and expertise to further his own nefarious agenda. He was like a ghost, leaving no trail, no evidence, just a whisper of suspicion that would haunt the FBI for years to come. As the years went by, Hanssen's activities became more and more brazen. He would often meet with his Russian handlers in secret, exchanging classified documents for cash and diamonds. The Russians loved him. They called him Ramon Garcia, and he was their most prized asset. But the FBI was getting closer, and Hanssen knew it. He began to cover his tracks, destroying evidence and creating elaborate alibis. The cat-and-mouse game was on, and Hanssen was determined to stay one step ahead. But here's the twist. Hanssen's downfall came from an unlikely source, a fellow FBI agent who had been tasked with investigating a series of leaks within the Bureau. The agent, Eric O'Neill, was young and ambitious, and he had a hunch that the mole was someone close to home. He began to surveillance Hanssen, monitoring his every move and waiting for him to slip up. And then, it happened. Hanssen made a mistake, a small one, but enough to raise O'Neill's suspicion. The game was afoot, and Hanssen's world was about to come crashing down. Nobody could have predicted the level of deception that Hanssen had achieved. He had created an elaborate web of lies, using his own family as a cover for his illicit activities. His wife, Bonnie, was oblivious to her husband's double life, and she would later claim that she had no idea what he was doing. But as the investigation unfolded, it became clear that Hanssen's family was not as innocent as they seemed. His son, Greg, had been acting strangely, and there were whispers of a deeper involvement in his father's crimes. As the net closed in around Hanssen, he knew his time was running out. He was caught on February 18, 2001 at a park in Virginia, where he was attempting to leave a package of classified documents for his Russian handlers. The FBI had finally caught their mole, but the damage had already been done. Hanssen's betrayal would go down in history as one of the most devastating in the FBI's history, and it would take years for the Bureau to recover from the shock. But here's the jaw-dropping revelation. Hanssen's case is still shrouded in mystery. Many believe that he was not acting alone, that there were others within the FBI who knew about his activities and chose to look the other way. The extent of the damage he caused is still unknown, and many of the documents he sold to the Russians remain classified to this day. The case of Robert Hanssen is a chilling reminder that even the most trusted among us can be capable of the darkest deceit. And as we delve deeper into the world of espionage and counterintelligence, we are left with a haunting question. How many more moles are out there waiting to be discovered?